this again. Maybe we go through the rest of the tutorial. I'm guessing problem happened last time.
In this lesson, I want to give you some additional information about track construction. You already know the basics, but I have a few important tips. First, consider the cattle farm with the road connection to Sacramento. The road tells us that the farm, therefore, you are now to establish a railroad connection between the cattle farm and Sacramento. In order for a rural business to use a station, the station must be set up nearby. This is indicated to you by a line from the farm to the station. Very good. And now, build a track between the new station and the station in Sacramento. Don't use the first two station tracks in Sacramento, though, because we still need them for the connection to San Francisco.
But, I think...
Great! But before you build the track, I want to explain how you can influence the height of a track. To do this, insert a track point on the track and change its height. You will see the controls at the bottom of the screen when you move the focus over the track point. With the height of a track point, you can influence tunnels, bridges, and slopes. Now, optimize the track so that no tunnels or bridges are needed, and the track has a length of less than 250 kilometers or 106. Excellent! Now, set up a rail line between the cattle operation and Sacramento. To do this, create a new rail line between the two stations, select a locomotive and a train, and confirm the cost. That done, the rail line can begin service. But suppose the demand for cattle becomes so great that, therefore, you should now build a sidetrack and define directions of travel so that several trains can operate between the cattle farm and Sacramento. Now select the track at the marked position to insert a switch. Now it gets tricky. You have to lay the new track as a parallel track to the existing one. Parallel tracks are much cheaper and offer many advantages. Move your cursor to the marked position and make sure that the parallel track symbol appears on the cursor. Then, very good! Now the track will continue to be built as a parallel track. Now select the last position for your sidetrack near the cattle farm. You will see the complete track with two switches as a preview. Then confirm the construction and pave. Now you have to set directions for the two parallel tracks. Otherwise, your trains will always choose the shortest way and not use the sidetrack. Very good! Now your trains can go one way and return the other. Why don't you zoom in close to one of the new turnouts and take a look at the signals that were automatically created? But at the moment, you don't need a second train on this route, because your rail line can already open the Sacramento City dialog by selecting the Sacramento City borders. You can select anything except special. Important information about the city is shown here. At the top, the citizens of the city are displayed. Below that is how many wagons of goods the citizens and the industries in the city could. Furthermore, the current train usage is shown for freight, passengers, and mail. Below that, the same is true for mail. So if you want to transport as many express goods to San Francisco as possible, a train should leave Sacramento every 5 to 10 days. However, your existing rail line only has one train and However, this route does not offer any alternative options for several trains. Open the track construction mode and build a railway line from track 2 in Sacramento to track 2 in San Francisco. You will see that this track is automatically planned as a parallel track and is therefore very convenient. But two parallel tracks do not help yet. We still have to connect them. There is a very practical method for this, the station gridiron. With it, you can connect parallel tracks in front of stations. Select the station gridiron and build it in front of the Sacramento and San Francisco station. Excellent! Now set different directions for the two parallel tracks so that the trains can avoid each other. Excellent! By setting directions, all signals are automatically created here as well. Now your track is ready for more trains. Close first, you can simply select the train that is traveling between the two cities. Do that. You can also simply switch through all your rail lines. Try that too. And there is a third way. Select a track between San Francisco and Sacramento. Then now select Edit Rail Line and increase the number of trains to 2. The cost of this, perfect! Take a close look at the station and the station gridiron in Sacramento. The new train you can place gridirons at all parallel tracks in front of a station if there is enough space available, because the more tracks are to be connected, the longer the structure. Since the station gridiron can only be used by one train at a time, I wouldn't recommend you to connect more than 4 parallel tracks. Now let's wait for the train.
But yeah, like I was saying, there's probably a maintenance building that actually repairs the train in the train stations like there were in the first one. I just thought the maintenance got loaned out to the stations, which apparently not.
And already the new train is on the way. By the way, the train number of the train you are currently looking at is shown above. Switch through the trains and that's the end of this lesson. You now know how to create switches, side tracks, parallel. Welcome to my lesson on locomotive maintenance.
Okay,
First, you need to know that all locomotives have different maintenance intervals and consumption depending on their type. Take a look at the rail line between Sacramento and San Francisco. Here you can see the current state of the locomotive. The lower the condition is, the more often the train has a breakdown and stops on the way. Locomotives are automatically repaired at stations if they have a maintenance depot. To do this, try choosing the station in Sacramento. Here you can select Construct Extension. Do that and take a look at the options available. Then build a maintenance depot. Very good. Whenever the state bar of a locomotive has dropped to about 60%, it will be serviced. And since the Sacramento station is used by both of your train lines, the maintenance depot also benefits both. These 3 bars show the levels of water, sand, and oil. If operating materials are missing, the locomotive will be significantly slower. All of the operating materials that a locomotive requires can be obtained at supply towers, which must be built along the tracks. Open the building menu and select the supply tower. Now build a supply tower near each of the marked positions. Very good. Both rail lines can now reach a supply tower. You can build them at any position along your lines, but they should be far enough. There is one more building that has to do with maintenance, the maintenance post. Select this building type. Unlike the maintenance depot or the supply tower, the maintenance post is not a required building type. It is suitable, however, when many trains come together in a small space because the maintenance post can reduce breakdowns and thus long traffic jams and conflicts considerably. However, this also results in daily upkeep costs. This brings us to the end of this lesson. Feel free to look around some more. Once you have finished,
they never
this
made this, I
tutorial
would
will
have
end.
been looking through the station to build the thing, but whatever. Now we know. Hopefully this run through will win.
This lesson is about optimizing rail lines.
Autism train
Specifically,
obsession.
how to optimize
Sometimes.
the revenue of a rail line according to its tasks. For this purpose, select a train of the rail line from Sacramento to San Francisco. Since this rail line operates between 2 cities, it transports passengers and mail. These two goods are among the express goods because they require fast transportation. Consequently, the faster the transport, the higher the transport revenue. For example, now open the balance sheet of the rail line. Here you can see, among other information, what revenues the selected train had on its last full tour. As you can see, revenue for freight transportation also plays a role. While Sacramento produces meat, San Francisco has cloth. Fixed prices are paid for freight transportation, so speed is not a... Now consider the costs. Maintenance and fuel are mainly affected by the length of a tour, but personnel generates daily costs, so speed plays a factor here. Also, a rail line can transport more if it is faster. However, freight is much heavier than express goods, and a locomotive cannot. Therefore, there are different locomotives. For example, on this rail line, a mixed-use locomotive is used.
Fucking call.
This is always good.
What do you want?
The load consists of at most half freight goods.
Yes, it is train game.
If there is a higher percentage of freight, a freight locomotive would be better. We now want to test a freight locomotive and one for express goods between the two cities.
What's your goal for
Open
this?
the research and development section.
To be a train company.
Here you will see many
Successful.
technologies that you can unlock over
hopefully.
the years. They improve
I did it
countless
yesterday.
aspects
It
of
was
your
not
business.
successful.
These include higher ticket
From what you were
prices,
saying
happier
earlier, I assumed
passengers,
trains broke
and even
down and
more
you didn't
modern
know what to do.
locomotives. Your current
Yeah,
locomotive is the Dunham.
They had this
Select
new
it, and
building
let's
that they
take a
didn't have
look
in the
at its
first
state.
one, and I
Compare
thought
the
that they
speed,
made it
tractive
so
power,
the
and
new
suitability
building
of the
replaced the
Dunham
old one.
with the two
It did not.
locomotives to the
They still need
right
to
of the
build the old
Dunham,
one.
the Derwent and the Firefly. You can now unlock these two locomotives so you can use them in your rail line. Very good. Now close this dialogue. Now optimize the rail line for express goods. Exchange the locomotive for the Firefly and select Express as the load type. Then pay the cost for the new locomotives, and now watch your rail line and use the fast forward function if you like. It will only pick up express goods and it will reach a much higher speed than before. After a while, it will even show the express symbol. This means your rail line
Right
is
along.
the fastest of its time and gets even higher ticket
Why
revenue.
are there
You don't have to
Mexican
walk on
flags?
express line
I was about to say, why do you
Everything
have
works with
Mexican
slower and
flags?
mixed
This is
transports as well.
Oh wait,
But suppose you have a good reason for
1838
this optimization.
California?
Then of course, freight transport is missing. If you can't transport freight on
Maybe.
the same tracks, that would slow down the express train. Therefore, you should expand the track. To do this,
1850
extend the
was
two
when
parallel
California
tracks from
became a
Sacramento
US
to
state.
San Francisco
Okay,
by
so
two
yeah.
more tracks. Then build a station
I
grid
guess
at each
Mexico
station,
makes sense.
connecting each of the four tracks. You can just build
what
the
do you want
new
me to do?
station gridiron on top of the previous one,
Huh?
but be aware that the new
You're just trying to
gridiron
get ahead
is
of the
much
game
longer.
before it
Don't
becomes a
forget the
state, though.
directions for the new tracks.
Then the two parallel tracks from Sacramento, San Francisco by two more tracks. Okay. Okay. 3. Four. Okay. I did it. And I need to get rid of that and place one of these. That.
Excellent. Now create a new rail line from Sacramento to San Francisco. To make it use the new tracks, you need to set
Sacramento,
waypoints.
San
To do this, select the following four objects in sequence: Sacramento, the outbound track; San Francisco, the return track. Very
Okay.
good. Now use the Derwent as the locomotive. Select freight to be loaded because this rail line should only carry freight.
Okay.
That's exactly how it's done. Normally, trains always take the shortest way, but by using waypoints, you can specify certain paths. You should also do this for your express line, so that the two lines don't get in each other's way. Otherwise, we're through with
fulfillment of demand and production.
Greetings! This lesson is about how you can recognize the needs of a city and use them to your advantage. I'll also show you how to invest in the production of goods. Open the city dialogue of Sacramento and then the supply and demand list. This list shows you, among other things, how high the stock of all goods is and how high the current demand by citizens and factories is. As an example, look at grain. The city needs grain, yet the supply is at 0. This is because the nearest grain farm is too far away and is virtually unsupplied by traditional transportation.
Okay.
The same is true for lumber. So with the help of for corn, however, there is some supply. Here, a corn farm is nearby and goods are transported via road. And now, close the list again and look for suitable businesses to improve the city's fulfillment of demand so that the city can grow.
Okay.
In the north of Sacramento, there is lumber, and in the northeast, there is grain available. Now build a station at both farms and connect them to Sacramento, preferably with double tracks and a grid option.
How about you shut the hell up, brother?
I don't need your tutorial anymore.
I know how to fix my trains, slap nuts.
That's all I needed. When do you start shipping people and start a slave trade?
I've already started shipping people. And then wanted one here.
The Glad clearing. What's going on here?
This here. Yeah. Guess it doesn't really matter.
Don't forget to also set track directions and build supply
How
towers.
about you
Then set up
shut
one
up?
rail line for each good so that they can be delivered to Sacramento. We will continue once the first goods arrive in Sacramento.
Right hand drive.
Right hand drive trains?
Yes. As God intended. Okay. Go. Indian village. Indians currently live here.
Is there a way you can run a train through it?
Some Indians relocate the position of their village multiple times a year. If you want to lay tracks in a spot right now, you have to compensate them. What the?
You can't guard right that. That's stupid.
Let's go, train. Let's go, train.
it just some dodge attacks you can't guard break them?
If you hit them with the heavy, then you feint into guard break, you catch the dodge attack. If you do light into heavy feint guard break, you bounce. That's why Ascent is so good, because he catches dodge attacks. Get in there! Train!
Excellent. Select Sacramento again and watch how the city's fulfillment of demand improves. Since Grain and Lump, observe how the new supplies increase the goods coverage. If it's above 60%, a city grows. If it falls below 40%, it shrinks. Let's wait until the city reaches 40,000 citizens. You can look around a bit in the meantime.
But 40,000 citizens, that's a lot of people. Come on, man. Stupid waiting tutorial. Money.
Money. What you gonna do with it? This person's like the weirdest Zanzu I've ever seen.
Mong. Yes, train go, train come back. Train have thing in it. Very cool. It do be training.
Everything you expected in the game.
Excellent.
Called
Sacramento
Railway
has reached a
Empire or
new
something
level.
like that.
When a city grows, this has many effects. The need for goods increases, more types of goods are demanded,
Yes.
Another industry can now be constructed in Sacramento.
Oh.
Beer would be good because grain is needed as raw material for it. Besides, San Francisco also needs beer and there already exists a rail line. So open the construction menu and select the breweries. Now place the new industry in Sacramento inside the inner city area. Make sure that the new building complex doesn't get in the way of your future construction projects. Very good. Now leave the construction menu again and select the new industry. Here you will see some info about your new industry. The rotating gear shows that the production is running. But if raw materials are missing or the export warehouse is overflowing, production stops. This decreases the utilization and consequently your profit. If the work stands still for a long time, you will also lose money. This can be the same city or any other city that can be reached by rail. So you can assume that your rail lines, if one day the production of your industry is no longer adequate, you can enlarge it by increasing the level. Now select a rural business, because I'd like to show you that you can also buy this business. You can acquire any rural or city business as long as it is not owned by one of your competitors. Very good. Now try to acquire this rural business. Excellent. One last thing. Open the flow of goods display. The origin of travelers, mail, and goods is displayed here, as well as where they are transported to. This is very useful if you're looking for a specific farm, for example, or want to know which transport routes you could take over. Down here, you will see explanations about the flow of goods.
You know, once
now
you get
select
good at
different
this, you should
goods
just
and
do it
move
in
your
real
focus
life.
to...
True. Start being
a
a
little blown.
logistics planner. Be the next Vanderbilt.
Hi! In this lesson, I want to explain how passengers, mail, and freight can change trains.
Okay.
This is useful because it means you need fewer rail lines and you can easily distribute goods from central stations to all directions. Now select Sacramento, and there, passengers and mail. Here you can see the destinations passengers and mail have from Sacramento. Right now, that's just San Francisco, because it only mentions destinations that can be reached entirely by... Indeed, passengers and mail may change trains in cities and at rural stations with hotels if there is no shorter way, and if the way by rail is at most twice as long as the direct way. Now, build a station in Reading and connect the city to your station at the clearing. Feel free to use new tracks there. Then, create a new rail line that runs from the clearing to Reading. As soon as lumber arrives in Reading, we will continue.
Okay. These are made by the same people that make Tropico.
Wow. Different feels. A little weird.
Yeah, it's not as funny. Oh, come on, train! Oh, blow a horn button.
Oh, the best button in the game.
Outstanding! Now, so that the passengers and mail can change trains at the clearing, you need a hotel at the station. But you haven't researched it yet. Therefore, open the research diagram. Very good. Now select the station at the clearing and expand it with the hotel. Exactly. Now passengers and mail can change at the station. Open the overview Passengers and Mail in Sacramento again, and you'll notice that passengers and mail can now get to Redding via the station with the hotel.
That's cool.
Maybe it will take a while for the new route
That's
to be
new.
registered. Then we'll just wait. Hotels, by the way, are only required at rural stations because in cities, passengers and mail can always. Now let's try it out. For this, unlock the warehouse within the research diagram and expand the station at the clearing with the warehouse. Unlike the hotel, the warehouse needs to be adjusted to the goods that are to be transferred here. Therefore, select the constructed warehouse and instruct it to take in the goods, meat, beer, and cloth. You don't have to specify a quantity.
Meat,
Very
beer,
good.
cloth.
The goods selected by you can now change the rail line at the warehouse. Note, the goods, as with travelers and mail,
Interesting.
freight is only shipped by a business if the destination can be reached by rail. For example, the meat industry in Sacramento can now ship meat to Redding by rail, knowing that the meat will reach its destination via the warehouse. Now, feel free to look at how the goods transfer at the clearing. You may also need to increase the number of trains to transport all.
Banking and personnel.
Greetings! Now we'll move on to banks and personnel. Loans, stock trading, buying up competitors, personnel man. Here you can see some data about
This is
your
gonna teach
company
me how
on
to
the
get
left, and on the
loans.
right side, the current company value and the results of the last 4 quarters are displayed here. The last quarter is on the left. Here you can see which companies are currently competing in the transportation business and how much these companies are. Once you have acquired all the shares of a competitor, you can merge with them and the competitor disappears. But be careful. If a competitor gains value faster than you, they will also try to buy up the shares of your company, and there is quite a bit more information about mergers, but you can take a look at that at your leisure by here you can buy shares of different markets and issue company bonds to take out a loan. The higher your company value, the higher the bond's value. Now buy some stock and issue a bond.
Okay.
In the last section, you can see all kinds of statistics and company developments. Look around a bit, then close the dialogue to continue. Now let's take a look at the personnel. Open the corresponding dialogue. In this dialogue, you can change basic settings for the 4
Welfare.
different personnel areas of your company. The first area is for the engineer. Your trains are on the move 24 hours a day. With a daily work time of 8 hours, each train needs 3 engineers. If you increase the work time, for example, you will need fewer engineers, but the quality of the work will decrease. How many of the available positions can actually be filled depends on how much you invest in your employees. How well each individual works and how many positions are filled ultimately determines the efficiency of an area. Now take a look at the 3 other personnel areas. They all work similarly, but each has
Stoker.
different effects. One special feature is your security personnel. Not only do they affect mail and freight revenues, but they can also prevent sabotage when effectively used. As always, you can find more information about personnel in the Tips and Tricks dialogue. Start the search for a saboteur now. Go ahead and invest the highest. Normally, you would have to wait for a while now, but I'll take the liberty to speed up the search. As soon as you have found a saboteur, you can use them. Now close the dialogue and select something that belongs to your competitor north of Redding. For example, a station. Then, order the sabotage.
All I see with you are breakdowns. It's going to be an uneven battle.
That's how it's done.
What are these
Whether
voice
you want to
lines?
sabotage your competitors or not, of course, is your decision. It's not important, but you should expect that also brings this lesson to an end. One more thing. As long as your business is small, you...
Tutorial complete. Whoa! Achievement. Complete 7 tutorials. Yo! Alright, campaign.
Now that you know how to, fix your train.
I could fix my trains now. Alright, let me set a marker. How do I do that? That is here. Alright, trains. For realsies this time.
The late 1820s marked the beginning of a revolution in transportation, both in the Old and the New World. Fueled by steady growth, the industrial centers on the East Coast demanded more and more resources in less and less time.
Pretty recent of this bus driver who shot a guy who
Roads
was
and
him.
even the newly built waterways
Yeah.
could
that
hardly
bus
meet
driver
the
got
increasing
fired
demand.
because the company is a leftist company,
However,
but he defended
inspired
his
minds
life.
had combined the
It do be
idea
like
of
that
tracks
sometimes.
and the new invention of the steam engine into a powder keg that was to shake society to its foundations. It only took ambitious pioneers to light the fuse.
Ah, glad you're here. The name is Corning, Erastus Corning. You must be the young railroad expert that was recommended to me. Other people don't think much of this newfangled nonsense. But I think investment into this railroad thing
Tell me
and
what I
your
need to
company
do.
is money well spent.
is wrong with
I'm
your
the
lips?
proud owner of a hardware company. And the more railway lines you construct using my steel, the richer I'll get. So don't go bankrupt. But why don't you just get started using the to-do list I created? My company is situated in Albany, so you should connect this city as soon as possible. Don't worry about the difficult terrain. Clever planning is everything.
Oh, what is it? Saw Fast X the other day. Pretty good. Best part is they're making another one.
Oh, really?
It left on a cliffhanger ending.
Oh, so is it really gonna be that thing where they're gonna, what's it called, have like a 3-part finale?
Oh, sounds like it. Feels like it. Rotate this. But I don't think it's gonna be 3-part finale. I think it's gonna just keep going after 3 parts.
Yeah, probably.
It's gonna be the race to the retirement home. Let's see if we could do it old school like this.
Who does that?
What's happening?
Weird playing set.
It do be like that sometimes. I don't need gridiron tray. Okay, so then I go to Boston and I go build the maintenance depot to make sure our trains don't die.
You always need those maintenance.
Priority on the people. That was the first one, right? Yeah. track already built. Come on. Like this. And move this there.
What did moving that change?
The like how the track is aligned.
Oh, okay. Because I just saw you move like a little cone that was already next to it, moving it a little down.
I made it so it has more runway, I guess. That's how I could describe it. Prioritize wood. And nothing on the way back. That's how you used to do it in the first one. I don't know if it works. We'll see.
See if it runs as planned.
There. Get these up on it.
Oh yeah, I was playing Ready or Not with Nick, and I found out why that one hotel map was super hard for us to play.
Why?
It's because the enemies in that one, they're retired vets, so they have like, I guess, better combat mechanics.
Okay.
So anytime that we would try to do something and we didn't know what we were doing, they would just, you know, be all tactical and win.
Run up on you. So right hand
And then, you know, like, come behind Matthew and just kill him.
yeah, in between both of us. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was funny. To there.
And then yesterday I also had my first experience with those, the stupid civilian thing where they pull out a phone and start taking flash pictures at you.
Yeah. Because that.
Apparently using a ton of OC spray is, what's it called? Like, deadly force, or not deadly force, but unauthorized use of force or something. It's like, I'm trying to get him to go down.
And he's just sitting there, and you just like.
Waiting for them because they don't go down for like the next 10 seconds, and you're just standing there taking pictures. It's so stupid.
It do be like that. Okay, so lumber to that. I need to get sugar this way.
And then another one we couldn't complete was the nightclub, but that one's like one of the hardest ones apparently.
I believe it.
It's stupid because they strap bombs to the civilians, right? So you see a bomb vest and your first instinct is to shoot it, but since they're a civilian, you're not supposed to do that.
But no!
But
You're
the
not
other thing is
supposed
that
to
they
shoot
just
him.
explode. They just completely explode. However, the terrorist ones, those ones don't explode. Like, come on, you're the one with the suicide vest. Why am I getting in trouble.
Do be like that. There to there. Keep that open just in case.
Very good. What we're doing here really has the potential to revolutionize the way we have been transporting goods up till now.
Transportation of goods. That way.
I like how it tells you how fast it can go.
Yeah, they didn't have that in the first one. You just had to guess. There, and then put another one there. And city stations deserve a maintenance depot. Cool, now we got a bypass. And from you to there. Priority that.
Oh yes, full charged heavy, 51 damage.
Hell,
Hito 4 feet.
we love Hito here. Sometimes.
Sometimes. I made the Scent Rage quit by just going into Bash Mix Up.
Some people can't handle that anymore, man. Too
too
OP.
hard.
Please nerf.
Variable time stuff. That's where it gets too much.
I just can't react. Lamau. Please fix.
I can't light through it. What am I supposed to do?
What am I supposed to do? You telling me I have to guess? That's not cool, man. Right hand drive as God intended. I want a warehouse yet. Okay, then let's reach this. Oh, maybe here's the warehouse. And let us continue
Great. My company owes you.
in New York City. Straight into it. How much is that? Not that bad.
type of things, but I can't find a good one.
Yeah, like, you should find one because Matthew's getting stupidly bored.
Is that why he's just laying there?
He's playing freaking guitar, man.
Oh yeah, he's getting that bored. I'm gonna text him about my plan right now.
Get a warehouse, and in the warehouse, get meat, log.
Now I continue my search.
Did I mess with this? No, I didn't. Okay, so that should run that. That should run that.
I don't know, Picnic Launcher just had like a bunch of like Naruto and Pixel Mountains as their top.
Hey man, that makes money, apparently.
I guess. Oh, it's Star Wars? Oh,
Star Wars mod.
Star Wars Conquest.
I don't know how cool that would be in Minecraft of all things.
I know. At this point, let me just play like, what is that Star Wars game? The Old Republic?
Yeah, Old Republic.
Technically industrial.
How much is that? Really expensive. Oh, I love Star Wars just as much as the next guy, but Minecraft Star Wars, that ain't it.
It's very hard to do correctly. Very, very hard. There's only so much you can do.
John Bull, that one. And have a bypass up here. What is the problem here?
Technically industrial. Legacy? No, not legacy. Legacy seems...
Yeah, New York is that big? Like, interesting.
This one also has plenty of storage mods, so that's like right down your alley.
Dude, I love sorting.
We love doing the most complicated way to store things just because it's fun.
It's cool, man.
Since this one has like a very big lack of mod
Why?
list. And then I know Austin is gonna open up his realm when the new update comes out.
bypass through there. Maybe it's like wanting us to connect stations now. Last game they didn't like that.
Is there really like a goal besides making a successful train empire, or is it just do as you wish?
Task list.
So there's some sort of quest line guide to it.
Kinda. I'm playing the campaign. There is just a
Yeah.
free sandbox mode.
But this one, you know, it's the fun of do whatever you want, kind of.
Wink, smile,
Right hand drive.
as God intended.
Is there a reason why that happened? Like how most of Europe has left and we have, right? Or is it just something that happened?
I don't know, man. I don't know that much about transportation history.
It's so stupid how like the classes you take before doing your permit test, they make you learn like how many vehicles did this company produce in this time frame. It's like, why
What the
do I
hell?
need to know this?
What type of test did you get?
It wasn't on the test. It was those like lessons, driver's ed lessons. Like, why do I need to know this?
You got some weird ass driver's ed people.
Hey, at least it was easy to pass, I guess. Why is it taking so long to download this mod pack? How many mods are in this?
Too many.
Installing Minecraft assets. You're telling me that I need to download Minecraft again
Hey man.
to run this Minecraft? I'm gonna grab a drink. I'll be right back.
Alright. Don't want you taking that. Take everything else there. Man is good there, good there. We just need beer and grain. Just up there, which is probably rack into here. Okay, so 2 lanes coming in there and there. So the New York stuff should get more of a run through. Should make bypasses though to get into Boston. Do I have maintenance stuff? Maintenance depot.
Let's test this one.
Okay, what do you want? It's taking forever to be loaded. Yes. Now go. This should start running here.
Oh, apparently there's trains and
Yo, trains? I'm good with trains.
I sent Kaylin the mod pack and she sent back a picture of this. Check your DMs.
Yo, trains!
It's exactly what you're doing.
Send her a picture of my stream.
I'm just gonna send her the link. Speaking of trains. Yeah, I find this weird. So the Notre Dame lacrosse team,
Yeah.
they have this entrance, right? Where they play bagpipes, but they're playing Scotland the Brave. They're Irish.
Train, you're right! Good job. Kaylin put train in my...
Train.
You're right.
Correct.
Yes.
Got him. Got him.
Where do I unlock hotels that the game was talking about? Is that like far
Why
away?
is Minecraft noise so loud? I don't need music to be like 200% in my ears.
You sure? Okay, so I need to make bypasses to cities.
Test creative mode.
Cheating mode.
I'm testing out this mod. I want to see how trains work in this game. Seems like there's a little bit of conflict.
What is happening here? Small breakdown? Fix that shit.
There's
Why
one
isn't
on the
Boston
street
growing?
really close to the railroad?
Fulfillment of demand, not even 60%. Why? Need grain and corn. I could do that.
Okay. Oh, so you have money in this game? I didn't realize
Yo, money?
you get money.
I like it already.
Applied Energetics. Oh, they have turtles, the computer stuff.
Oh, those are hard.
That one's you actually code it. Or skill code online. Either way.
Yeah.
Industrial foregoing. You have chimneys. They have chimneys in this game.
That's cool.
Mechanism, iron chests. Minecraft Transit Railway Core.
That sounds
Reactors.
pretty cool.
Station building. Oh, so these are like you can build your stations. They have escalators and elevators. Immersive engineering, yeah. Applied mechanistics. Ad Astra. So there's rockets in this game, but not Galacticraft rockets. AE editions. Okay. Pneumatic craft.
Weird. This mod sounds pretty cool.
Mine colonies too.
Yo!
This is everything we really enjoyed.
That's pretty good. Now, is it? Can it be in the multiplayer mod or the servers?
Maybe that should have been the first thing we looked at.
I'm pretty sure you get Matthew to pay for it if it's that good, right?
If he really thinks it's cool, I'm sure he would do a little $5 a month thing. Let's just name it Train. Train moments. Oh, that's gonna stop.
Just train things, smile.
Software. This is Technic Launcher. Technically industrial. This one is application provider. Reset my password. I don't know. I hate when they make you like sign in with an email, but they don't allow you to sign in with like Google.
Yeah.
Wait. I think this one has built-in multiplayer.
What?
Look at my screen. So, this is just on a single-player server. I see this invite button and a social button, so I click the invite. I can invite friends. Social, I can add a friend by putting in their Minecraft username.
What? That's cool.
So, maybe we should get Caleb to hop in and test this out. That's crazy though. There's elephants. There's elephants, gazelles. Let's get train. Okay, so they just have like wood train tracks. Oh hell yeah.
Oh, there's some thick ass train tracks.
It takes up 3 things. Okay, now like, can I get a train on this? No, not a monorail. Train car? Is that the one that works on this? How do you get these to work? Locomotive, perhaps?
A locomotive?
How do I put a train on here? What mod is this? Nope, wrong one. At transportation. Transport.
Okay, Angkor can get a line to Angkor to Boston, Portland. Yeah. Let's do it.
Huh. So there's different types of trains.
Yo, that's cool.
Now where's the big train? I want the big train that goes on the big tracks.
So, Albany to Stewart Station. We probably tack on more trains with priority on them sites. Boston is growing, that's what I needed to do. I need to transport more people. Portland needs a trip to Stewart Station. Probably like 2. Albany need Mormons.
Dolphins are loud as balls.
Small breakdown.
What is this for? Huh? Just get cold. Yo, the train drives.
No way.
Let's see it. Meow. It goes pretty fast, I would say. It like builds up speed pretty quickly.
That's cool.
Can I just get it to go? Oh, so these ones.
Left. White tower. Like there. There. Train.
Okay, let's see. Click on multiplayer. Okay, so let me try to add you as a friend. What's your username?
Hold on.
Oh. Waiting on. What? Oh, this thing's loading. Maybe you
I
have
just
to restart
received
your
a
stuff.
grateful letter from the mayor of Boston regarding our new passenger line. That's really good press, especially now that we are delivering goods faster than they are consumed. Passengers can be a more reliable source of income.
That's pretty good. That's good.
So I'm gonna figure out how these trains work really quick, and then we can play whenever you want.
I'll just get Matthew awake and hopefully now.
Oh, you have to right click on it, I think, to change it. Or it's some button, I don't know what it is on here. But you can change
Ah, that's
the-
an elephant.
Okay.
Or you just no. Is Matthew awake right now?
I started
I don't
out
know,
with a
you should
small
call him.
hardware store that I
Okay,
inherited
I'm
from
gonna
my
call
father.
him.
By now, it has grown into a stately company, and with the help of the railway,
Also
it can
button on
become
here.
really big. We have already done a lot for the people in this region. Shorter travel times, increased transport of goods, and at the same time, our registers are ringing. As a next step, we should consolidate our success. Take a look at your list. I've added some more tasks.
Albany. Need corn. I can provide corn.
You may pick up.
Indian Resettlement Act is passed.
Oh, it's numbers.
All here.
Hello.
Good morning. We found
morning.
one mod pack, and we're ready for you for a game whenever you are fully awake.
I don't know the number to change this.
Oh, I'm gonna go shower then.
Okay.
We'll get on healing after. So if you want to start it,
I have the
that's fine.
server set, or we figured out how the server making works, so we're
You
good
didn't
on
change
that.
your skin yet.
I just
So glad Discord is muted on the stream. Your religious symbol. Nope. Nope. Still here. And then train direction there and there. Makes it sound like he's not just about to get right on. Matthew's good at that. Percent of demand is satisfied. That's pretty good. How should I market this on YouTube? Like raw, unedited gameplay. Because I don't want to edit. That fixed it. Looks like it fixed it. There we go, that train's moving again. So Albany's run broke down because you probably don't have maintenance stations.
What our rails can do for a city is quite unique, a marvel of modern technology.
Fruits, vegetable, wooden planks. When can I build the next factory? What's happening? Fine. So 35,000 people? Probably. Is there a this one? To build a here because we don't want anything breaking down. Actually, I need That doesn't help me. Albany's good. Gotta hit that thing. Build. City building. I want to build factory here. Missing operating supplies. What? That gets that. That's fine. I really don't care about Portland up there.
Just look at the impact on the landscape. Watching our beautiful locomotives rolling over our tracks makes me a little teary-eyed. Albany is thriving. People are surging into the city and are pouring fresh money into my company. You are doing a marvelous job. Please don't stop now. Have you ever traveled to Buffalo? Using the new Erie Canal, this is not as uncomfortable as it used to be, but passengers keep complaining about how long the journey takes. Another opportunity for a profitable connection.
Albany, Buffalo, rail line. I don't see why this would express lane. Albany, Buffalo, 60 cases is there, 8 loads of corn to Boston, which should eventually be happening somewhere.
Ourselves in a time of rapid innovation. If we go with it, we can end up in some wonderful places.
Howard's Rest Stewart Station. Then 8 loads of that. Just keep filling up Albany needs. should have... What? Yo, it do be training. Derail! That's probably both good and bad. Well... I feel like we're okay with complicated, just not unnecessary complication, if that makes sense. Send more. As some would say, door stuck. Dream die? Like it's fine. This sucks. We need to make a milk line, because there you go, their milk. Corn is fine, wood. Gotta wait. Let us construct a wood thing here. Dang. Vegetables. assholes in. Boston's Grow. much are being produced.
102% demand.
Did you know that the Erie Canal wasn't finished until 1825? I'm almost a little sorry that it is to become obsolete so soon. The canal itself was first proposed in 1699. Nowadays, there is so much less time between idea and realization. This is absolutely extraordinary. It works! Fewer and fewer travelers are using the Erie Canal because our train connections are simply better. Our company enjoys great popularity in Albany, and soon a new mayor will be elected. If I could win the election, I could use that to our advantage. Why don't you take a few measures to present me in a favorable light to the undecided voters?
Three rural businesses, missing grain. Centipede there. I'm gonna get Third Brain. Of course, there's an auction right when I spend all my money.
By the way, I have decided to run for the Democrats in this election. I believe that I can best represent our interests as a candidate for this party.
Avis Station. Avis.
Very good. A few years ago, people in Albany were still skeptical about the railroad. Your success will silence even the hardiest naysayers.
Hey, Albany should be getting,
I think besides probably the free, it's a bit hard to get to there. Could probably start connecting these guys. Not producing enough fruit, my man.
are ecstatic about our new university. Have you heard yet? We've won the election. I am now the mayor of Albany. You are truly a genius. I just spoke to the mayor of Philadelphia. They're willing to grant us access to the southern part of the East Coast. For a fee, of course. We should definitely take advantage of this opportunity.
So, we finally meet face to face. We haven't been formally introduced yet, but really, there's only one thing you need to know. Nothing goes down here without my permission. As long as you don't get in my way while on my turf, we'll have no problem with each other.
Ugh, what an unpleasant guy. It's best not to pay any attention to this bully for now. Let us focus on earning money.
Interesting.
Very good. The citizens are highly satisfied with your performance.
Okay, probably done with this for now. We got halfway through the task list, 69%. That's pretty funny. I'll probably play a little bit more of it later. But yeah, until next time, thank you for watching.